would go in like that was unthinkable.
Let me tell you something. After that made basket, they looked for the tallest outlet man I ever saw, Sampson. You couldn't miss him. That's how they ended up with that easy hoop.
Julius hits from outside, and it's 18-16. The West led by 8 points. It's now down to 2. Worthy with 10 points now. 5 for 6 from the field as you look at the West reserves, and they'll all play. You'll see them all play a lot in this game.
And that's the challenge to the coaches, to make sure that everybody can make a contribution.
The cheers for Rolando Blockman. He's going to be coming in shortly. 9 on the shot clock. Malone. That's where opposing teams want Moses to take the shot. West by 4. Bird to Julius. Filling the lanes are Thomas and Moncrief. But it's the Doctor again.
I think Dr. J loves to play in these All-Star games.
He's won 2 MVP honors. Sampson. Bird fouled by Worthy. Bird is fouled by Worthy, and the ball is jammed between the rim and the backboard.
Oh, here's Dr. J, and he comes through, and Kareem angles off. Great shot.
James Worthy, where did he start? You'll hear about it when we come back to Dallas. Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks in his first All-Star appearance. He won the slam dunk contest last year.
He is the heir apparent, Dominique Wilkins, to the mantle of Dr. J, in my opinion.
Kevin McHale, who we just saw talk about his early days, misses the shot, and here's Clyde Drexler. 36-30. Gilmore. Basket good and a foul. You know, it's interesting as Pat Riley cheers his team on that McHale has to play backup center on Boston because Bill Walton is there, so he wouldn't have to go against Gilmore in the regular year.
No, he wouldn't. But here's Gilmore, who never really did succeed in getting that hook shot down. I think that would have made him a much more devastating offensive player because he's got tremendous strength, but really never could use it to power it to the middle.
His 15th year, and people wondered maybe it was over for him, but he helped San Antonio do better than most preseason prognosticators that had the Spurs finishing last.
Well, that experience of his is certainly helping the Spurs.
5-point lead for the West into the first minute of the second period. McHale nicely on the low pass saves it. Buck Williams goes in, basket good and a foul. For 4 straight years, he's had 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. The only man on the court who could say they've done that.
He is, in quotes, a power forward. But here's what happens when you don't play with guys every day. Big guys can't catch it down around the ankles. Even though perhaps Jeff Malone thought he might be able to.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the leading offensive rebounder in the NBA, replaces Artis Gilmore. Well, I'll tell you, Olajuwon faced Kareem last Thursday, and Kareem gave him a lesson. 46 points for Abdul-Jabbar, and the Lakers trounced Houston. Only the second loss of the year for the Rockets at home.
But the kid's going to get a little bit older, and so is Kareem going to get a little bit older.
Talk about who's going to take the mantle as Olajuwon. Blackman tries to get in, loose ball. Here's Hakeem, and that's what we mean. A good spinning move inside, and he does it to both ends. Wilkins. Didn't win the slam dunk, but he did right now.
Oh, that Spud Webb yesterday, I'm telling you, that was unbelievable. I mean, if he hadn't won that thing, that probably would have succeeded from the Union down here in Texas. There would have been a revolt.
He's a hometowner here in Dallas. English on the baseline hits the jump shot. You'll see Spud Webb and what he did yesterday. 41-38, the West lead. Minute and a half gone by, second period. Ball away by Buck Williams. That normally is not his shot. That is McHale's. Stanley looking inside in a foot block and a new 24 second for the West. And Marcus Johnson, one of the comeback stories, comes into the game. His 6th All-Star appearance. The first 5 in the uniform of the Milwaukee Bucks now with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Well, he's been the most consistent player for the Clippers this year. We've had a lot of new faces from old places. And he's playing a big guard, so that's helped him develop that consistency.
Another slam dunk for Wilkins. Dominique. And how about about the Atlanta Hawks this year and what they've done?
They have come on so strong because I think that guy that just made that slammer, Dominique Wilkins, has assumed the leadership of that club.
The Atlanta Hawks are 28-20. They are 3.5 behind Milwaukee, and they are a team that a lot of clubs are looking at to come on in the second half of this season. Here's Dominique doing what he does best.
Boy, he was wheeling and dealing yesterday, but nice block by McHale, and up the court, heads up, and nobody gets out on the break quicker than Dominique. And a little double pump, it never hurt anybody, and slam.
22nd timeout by the West. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. If the season were to end right now, here would be the 8 playoff teams. And Boston would play Cleveland, Milwaukee against Washington, Philadelphia, Detroit, and Atlanta and New Jersey would be facing each other in the opening round. That's if the season ended today.
Well, the Knicks are hanging around down there too, but they've had so many injuries. I think the Clevelands and the Washingtons are the teams to watch that might develop maybe by the end of the year.
Alex English on the turnaround. English has 8 points. Worthy leads with 10. He's been on the bench, and a lot of balanced scores for the Eastern team. McHale gets Olajuwon in the air. Good defense and the rebound. Dantley inside. 43-40, the West leads. Here's English inside, and he beat Buck Williams. It was a race to the hoop, and it's a 5-point West lead. Wilkins, no chance to shake and bake there, but McHale is in great position for the basket.
Boy, you see how he gets that ball, never brings it, his arms down, just quickly up. That's what makes him a great offensive rebounder, McHale.
Dantley loses his footing. That's a skill. You almost fell down, and you regain your balance and hit the jumper. As
wide as he is, Adrian Dantley, he's got the skills, the dribbling ability of a small man. That's why he's so good. He gets wherever he wants to go to get that shot off.
It all started somewhere in some backyard place. Jeff Malone with his second basket on a drive, and the West lead is cut to 3. 8:45 remaining in the first half. Cheeks doubling against everyone he can see. Olajuwon. Marcus Johnson tries to tip it up. Out of bounds. It's still the West ball. And a timeout coming up. 8:37. Commissioner David Stern and CBS Sports President Peter Lund here today, enjoying perhaps the greatest athletes in the world, doing what they do best here before a full house at Reunion Arena. There's Ernie Stautner, assistant coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And yesterday, Roger Staubach, the former great quarterback, was here judging the slam dunk contest, and this has become a basketball crazy city, hasn't it?
If they ever really get to the final stages of the playoffs, this state is going to go crazy.
3-point lead. Thomas trying to cut it down to 1, couldn't do it. Inside, knocked away, and here's Marcus Johnson. Dantley to English. Great passing for a bunch of guys who haven't had that much time to do all of that. McHale on the feed from Dominique Wilkins. Rolls off. And it's still East ball. Magic Johnson is coming back into the ball game now, replacing Rolando Blackman, who gets a hand. Moses Malone is back. So the East now has Buck Williams, Dominique Wilkins, Moses Malone, Isaiah Thomas, and Maurice Cheeks. Olajuwon, Marcus Johnson, Magic Johnson, Dantley, and English for the West, and Kareem is getting set to come back. Dominique, and a loose ball foul goes the other way against the East, and Moses Malone with a foul. From there, looks like the Boston Celtic bench is Chris Ford, the assistant coach, and Jimmy Rogers and Larry Bird.
Only it's not the Boston Garden with the parquet floor.
Kareem comes back in the ball game. 20 of the 23 players have scored. Only Robert Parrish has not scored for the East. Olajuwon and Marcus Johnson have not tallied for the West. Kareem, long sky hook. Kareem just set an all-star record for the most field goals in a career, 89 with that basket.
With Kareem and Olajuwon in there, they're going to have some rebounding and tough inside scoring if the fast break doesn't work.
Moncrief couldn't hold on to it, and so the West takes over, leading by 7, and Larry Bird comes back. He scored 5 points early on. The pick and shovel player, Casey Jones calls him, does the dirty work like a coal miner. Brings out the best in everybody. If he doesn't score, he'll do it rebound.